Celtics versus Clippers featured the first game where Paul George and Kawhi played together, and it did not disappoint. In this video, I'm going to analyze the fourth quarter and overtime of that game, possession by possession, and take a look and highlight some things that both teams did. Let's first talk about the Clippers' suffocating defense. Kawhi Leonard is at a point in his career where he doesn't give 100% effort on every play, especially during the regular season, but when he tries on defense, he's still Kawhi Leonard. Early in the fourth quarter, with the Celtics sitting Walker and Tatum, Kawhi takes it upon himself to guard Jaylen Brown. He makes a mistake here cheating on the screen, giving up an open three-pointer in the corner to Brown, but then proceeds to hound Brown on 2 consecutive possessions, forcing a missed shot and then a turnover. The Celtics run the same play for Brown on the other side, and this time Kawhi calls a switch before he runs into Grant Williams. Grant Williams, by the way, is like the best screener on the Celtics. And here we see the Clippers take advantage of their switchability. We knew coming into this year that the Clippers would be great defensively. We knew they had a lot of switchable guys, but we also knew that they had a big weak link defensively on their team. And everyone can just say it on 3. 1, 2, 3, Lou Williams.
Pat Bev trick y'all, man, like he play defense. He don't guard nobody, man.
So Lou Williams made one good defensive play during the last 17 minutes of this game. Right here, when he stole the ball off this entry pass, that was his one good defensive play that I spotted. The Clippers decided to play Lou Williams for the entire fourth quarter and overtime, and you saw how the Celtics attacked Lou Williams again and again. Players in general put forth more effort defensively in the fourth quarter than other quarters, but in Lou Williams' case, he is so limited physically that even when he puts forth effort, he's pretty bad. The Clippers obviously want to put Lou Williams on the weakest Celtics offensive player, which is Grant Williams, and on this play, Wanamaker gets Beverley to switch off him, backs it up, and then runs a pick and roll involving the Clippers' 2 weakest defenders. Lou Williams falls down on this play, leaving too much space for Kemba Walker, who drains this 3. A bigger player with longer arms would have made this an actual contest against Walker's shot. The Celtics get the ball here into they get the ball into Grant Williams in the post here against Lou Williams, and the Clippers are forced to help. Smart gets an open look, but Beverley does an excellent job recovering and contesting. On the next play, Lou Williams is forced to defend Marcus Smart, who probably has 50 pounds on him, and there's nothing Lou can do on this play without fouling. A minute later, they do the exact same thing. This time, Lou Williams gets clamped on the rescreen, and Smart nails the wide open jumper. A minute later, and the Celtics do the same thing. Lou Williams starts on Jaylen Brown, and when he sees Brown going to screen for Walker, he tells Paul George to switch onto Brown. But now that Lou Williams is guarding Smart, Smart goes to screen as well and gets the switch of Lou onto Kemba Walker. Lou does a pretty good job here on Kemba, who was having a terrible shooting night. On this inbounds play in overtime, Lou goes for a bad steal attempt and gives up a wide open 3 for Smart. With all that being said, Lou Williams is still a net positive in this game because of how good he is on offense, because he hits big shots, because he draws this type of defensive attention that allows his teammates to get open shots, especially since neither Kawhi nor Paul George had it going offensively this game. Now, if you've seen the highlights of this game, you've seen the last play where Kawhi blocks Kemba's 3. Kemba Walker starts off running towards the backcourt, and Daniel Theis pretends like he's going to screen Kawhi from that direction, but at the last second, Kemba splits off into the corner, and as a result, Kawhi is a bit behind on this play. He blocks it anyways because, he's Kawhi. There are maybe 4 or 5 players in the league who have the wingspan and explosion to make up this space and block this shot. Now, switching over to the Celtics side. First, I gotta talk about Marcus Smart. The last guard to win Defensive Player of the Year was Gary Payton in 1996, 20 years ago. Because the way that basketball is designed, no guard can have the overall defensive impact that a center like Rudy Gobert can have. But man, if ever there was a guard deserving to win Defensive Player of the Year, it's Marcus Smart. This right here is one of the best defensive plays I've ever seen, period. He's guarding one of the best players in the league, perfect ball denial, no fouling, bounces the ball off the Clippers to give the Celtics a chance at tying the game. But watching the film, I was more impressed with how much Marcus Smart has improved as a ball handler and a playmaker. This is dating back a little bit to last season as well. But as a general NBA fan, I don't get to watch every single game like a Celtics fan would. Improvements like these really jump out to me. Marcus Smart didn't shoot the ball well in this game. He was only 1 of 11 from 3, and a lot of his shots were contested, but he did a good job running the offense. We've already seen the 2 plays of him taking advantage of Lou Williams in the pick and roll. Now in this play, Marcus Smart gets by Paul George and gets into the paint. And despite the miss, this is a good shot at the rim, and it gave Tice good positioning for the offensive rebound. But unfortunately, Tice is just not a good enough athlete to get this rebound.
Nice, Tice.
A couple other quick points I want to make. For the Celtics, when they have their best 5 out there, Jaylen Brown is basically non-existent offensively. And I think that's fine as long as Walker and Tatum play well. But in this game, that did hurt them a little bit, especially because Walker didn't really have it going. You see Brown being much more aggressive when Walker and Tatum sits. He still has a lot to improve. His shot is very shaky. His pick and roll game isn't great, but at least the aggressiveness is there. Another question that got brought up that I haven't really had a chance to tackle yet is whether or not Patrick Beverley is actually a good defender. And I think the answer to that generally is yes. Is he the best guard defender in the league? No. I think the best guard defender in the league currently wears number 36 for the Celtics. I'd even put a healthy Klay Thompson over Patrick Beverley. You could even argue Josh Richardson, Eric Bledsoe. Beverley is he's like a player that takes difficult shots and is really good at taking difficult shots. Most of the time, he's great, but sometimes his shot selection is questionable. Defensively, what this means is that his tendency to full court press people can annoy the other team. It can also ruin his own team. In that Rockets game earlier this year, he pressed Harden and paid for it multiple times. Hounding people can sometimes lead to steals. It can also lead to reaching fouls and free throws for the opposing team. To recap my takeaways from the Celtics-Clippers game, the Clippers defense is scary good, and they're not even at their best yet. There were still a couple of plays this game where they had miscommunications that led to easy Boston buckets. If and when they clean up these miscommunications, they might be even better than the Jazz or the Lakers come playoff time. Second takeaway, it's going to be important for guys like Beverley and Harkless and JaMychal Green to hit wide open threes because teams are going to try and trap Kawhi, PG, and Lou Williams a lot. For the Celtics, Marcus Smart is becoming more confident on offense. He's calling plays, he's more of a point guard than Kemba in some respects, all in addition to being a Defensive Player of the Year candidate. The Celtics got him on contract for the next 3 years for $13 million per year, and that is a great deal. Second takeaway, Jaylen Brown should continue to be aggressive. If for no other reason than he's getting paid way too much money to not be aggressive on offense. All right, that's it for today's video. I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.